Hi, everyone. This is Team Cuatro, which consists of myself, Ben Dowdle, Megan Stevenson, and Amanda Shen. Today, we would like to talk about why brands and influencers should consider collaborating on social media, as well as some best practices on how to go about doing that. As for an agenda, we will go over the fundamentals of collaborations and why it's important. We will also introduce the key players in this venture, and then look at best practices from the perspective of these different roles. So on this slide, I'm going to focus on the what and who. So what is social media collaboration and what does it involve? So collaboration is the act of working together with other people or organizations to create or achieve something. Within social media marketing, collaboration is when brands and influencers join forces and create a mutually beneficial plan to meet a specific goal. Social media collaborations involve both brands and influencers. Both have the shared goal of preserving their own individual reputation, as well as separate goals they are trying to achieve. Brands are trying to drive a business objective, such as improving their credibility to drive sales. When brands seek out collaborators, they want to ensure that the venture is effective and produces the expected ROI. Influencers, on the other hand, not only want to be fairly compensated for their work, they want to also ensure that the venture is successful and beneficial to their influencer career. There's no hard limit to the number of collaborations both brands and influencers can engage in, but what is critical to any collaboration on social media is building the relationship first. So first, we're going to talk about brands. And in this slide, I'm going to talk about the why. So why is collaboration important for influencers and why do they do it? So for brands, influencer collaborations can unlock an array of benefits, which include reaching new audiences, increasing sales, and establishing trust with social media followers. An example for how brands can benefit from collaborations, let's dig into Daniel Wellington, a Swedish watch brand. As a new brand in 2011, Daniel Wellington is one of the pioneers of influencer collaborations. Daniel Wellington successfully launched a social media marketing campaign with the help of influencers who promoted the brand through user-generated content and standard hashtags. Through this social media marketing campaign, the hashtag Daniel Wellington hashtag has generated more than 900,000 posts on Instagram. In February 2017, Daniel Wellington was the fastest growing private company in Europe. So did you know that 63% of marketers today work with over 10 influencers on every campaign? If you are a brand new to influencer marketing, a few things to consider when determining if this is the right marketing approach for your brand to consider are on the screen. If status and image is critical to the brand, working with an authentic influencer is a wonderful way to continue to build your reputation as influencer promote, and review your products. Is your industry oversaturated? Working with influencers is one way to differentiate your brand by having them help build a connection to your company. Lastly, if your company isn't set up on social media, influencer marketing is not the right strategy for you. When it comes to picking influencers to work with, we will use two examples to showcase how this can be done both correctly and incorrectly. As an example of brand or influencer collaboration that works is Healthy Dip brand. Good Foods collaborating with social media influencer Jessica Sully, aka Pack My Lunch Mom, to promote guacamole. This works because these healthy dips appeal to Jessica's target audience, moms who care deeply about packing lunch for their kids using real ingredients. An example of a brand / influencer collaboration gone bad is Positive Beverage and influencer / Real Housewife Kelly Dodd. While Kelly carries a large social media following, the collaboration between her and Positive Beverage doesn't make sense because there is no obvious connection between Kelly and this beverage company. Really, it's inauthentic, in other words. Things really turned sour when Kelly's provocative social media comments led to Positive Beverage publicly dropping her as an influencer due to her views being a distraction for the company. As a small company working with a real housewife, only time will tell if Positive Beverage will be able to recover from this social media snafu. Next, we're going to talk about influencers. And for this slide, we're going to talk about the why. So why is collaboration important for influencers, and why do they do it? As an influencer, there are a few main reasons why you would want to work with brands. The first reason being exposure. Working with brands provides great exposure that can improve your image and status as an influencer. As your exposure increases and your reach broadens, these collaborations have the ability to create more followers organically, as well as attract larger and more esteemed brands, which oftentimes means more competitive compensation. The next piece of this is the portfolio. Working with brands adds to your working portfolio. This is important because oftentimes when a brand approaches an influencer or vice versa, they will look over their portfolio and achievements to gain confidence in what the influencer can provide for the brand. As an influencer collaborates with more and more brands or participates in more campaigns, brands will feel more confident in their ability to drive success. The next piece of this is content. So working with brands that fit your niche and style can be a great way to provide relevant and interesting content to your audience. As an influencer, you will have worked hard to build a loyal following among your audience by providing consistent and authentic content. Once you do build a following, it is critical that you keep providing your audience invaluable content that's relevant to both yourself and your audience. And the last piece of this is compensation. Collaborations are a great way for influencers to get paid for their work. When you are starting out, influencers may receive zero monetary compensation. However, once an influencer has a few collaborations under their belt, compensation packages start to become more competitive and lucrative. To start preparing for your brand's approach, to approach brands, you'll want to build a portfolio of your successful achievements. But before this, you'll want to have a clear picture of who you are as an influencer and what you bring to the table. You'll want to gather information about who you are and what niche your account operates in, who your audience is, the total number of followers you have, and your engagement rate. Having this information ready is critical in helping brands understand the potential reach their products or campaigns will have on your account. To show more professionalism, you'll want to build your working portfolio and continuously update it. In addition to the information we discussed previously, you will also want to highlight key performance indicators, such as successful posts and their likes, shares, comments, and impressions. If you have had any media coverage or publications that are relevant to your niche and brand, it would be beneficial to add those as well, as they are strong indicators of credibility. When you have your portfolio prepared, don't be afraid to reach out to brands that fit your niche. There's an oversaturation of influencers in any given niche, so it can be difficult for brands to navigate through the sea of influencers. In order to build long-lasting and mutually beneficial relationships with brands, you'll want to work with brands that you are generally interested in. This is probably the most important thing to keep in your mind. Working with brands that are outside your niche or doing so only for the compensation or status can damage your brand and authenticity. If you are caught promoting brands or products that do not live up to their reputation, you risk losing the trust and following of your audience. Once you have found a brand that you generally want to work with, it's important to research and understand the brand and their business. What products have they launched recently? Which other influencers have they worked with recently? And what is the focus of their business? Are they trying to develop awareness for new products, or are they trying to increase sales for known products? Showing up, knowing the brand and their business shows that you are invested in the brand and care about the brand. When you approach a brand, you'll want to be able to clearly lay out what you can do for the brand. For example, if past influencers collaborating for a specific brand happen to be all female, then as a male influencer, you may point out how your male following could be a potential target customer for this brand. You can show examples of similar products that you have posted about and how your audience has responded to them. In addition to this, you could also provide examples of content and ideas that you have for the product or services of the brand. So in conclusion, collaborations are critical to both brands and influencers on social media. A critical key to success when it comes to collaborations is that both the brand and the influencer are interested in building long-term relationships. In order to build a relationship, both brands and influencers need to be sure that they are each a good fit for one another, are happy with the ROI or payment, and both brand and influencers want to work with one another long term. So thank you, and we will take any of your questions.